Hello, welcome to the video, and today we're going to be discussing about my 26-man roster for the March camp. So, let's begin. So basically, this is a Nations League camp, and we're going to be playing against versus Granada away, and we'll be playing against El Salvador, I think, in Orlando. That's what I've been hearing from the sources. I think the game will be at Orlando. So, obviously, this is a pretty easy schedule. Like, the game on the road is against Grenada. The game on the road is against Grenada. We should be able to spank Grenada, like, who knows, like 3-0 with our B team. So obviously this is gonna be a pretty easy game. However, the game against El Salvador, I think you can take it a little bit more seriously, but again, it's El Salvador and it's probably gonna be their B squad. I think El Salvador, like, I think the moment they qualified to the Gold Cup, I think they're just gonna be satisfied with qualifying to Gold Cup. That's all I think they're gonna be. So obviously, this is a really easy schedule. However, I think we should be bringing some new exciting faces in order to obviously try out some new players. So yeah, let's discuss. Goalkeepers, I think you have to go with the current best three, which is going to be Matt Turner, Ethan Horvath, and Zach Steffen. I think although Matt Turner is a clear number one option, I think you can still see what he can do, what Ethan Horvath and Zach Steffen can do as well. I think we obviously there's going to be plenty of competition for this goalkeeper position. Obviously, you have Roman Santano, obviously, as well as another option, Josh Cohen. Maybe I'll consider Josh Cohen because he obviously looked pretty decent in the Champions League. Um, Sean Johnson, maybe, who knows? John Poolscamp has been looking pretty good for KC. However, I think we have to go with our best three, which is going to be Matt Turner, Ethan Horvath, and Zach Steffen. So that's what I think we should be bringing. Center backs, obviously, it's going to be Tim Ream, Chris Richards, Cameron Carter Vickers, and Mark McKenzie. Obviously, for me, I think these are the best four center backs we have right now at the moment. I think Mark McKenzie has been looking pretty good at Belgium, and I think he has been looking better for the national team ever since that move to Belgium as well. CCV, he's CCV, we all know that. Chris Richards has been looking pretty good when he's getting minutes for Crystal Palace. And Tim Ream obviously is Tim Ream. He's right now I think our best center back right now in the moment with their current form. I think he's our best center back. Um, Other options I think is going to be Austin Trusty, Eric Palmer Brown, and Miles Robinson. Austin Trusty, I think we can leave him off this roster for now. I think his form as of late in the championship hasn't been to standard. I think like before the World Cup, his form was amazing for Birmingham City, but Birmingham City have been leaking goals ever since, and I think Austin Trusty that leads them to missing out on this roster. If we can bring some more players, I think Austin Trusty should be one of those options that we should be bringing. I think Birmingham City are one of the worst defensive sides in the championship. So again, I think it might not have to do as much with Austin Trusty, but I think you can still put some blame on him. So there's that. Miles Robinson has been looking good ever since he has recovered from that Achilles injury, and I think if we can bring him, I think if he continues to put up his form right as of right now, I think we can bring him. But I think we just have to wait and see. Walker Zimmerman, obviously, I don't think we no Walker Zimmerman. Walker Zimmerman he's been good in MLS, but again, I think we should go with younger options right now. And obviously, with if we're gonna go for an MLS player, I think it has to be a younger option. Who's his partner in Nashville? I'm gonna search this up. Oh, Jack Maher. If he continues this form, I think we should bring him Jack Maher. I think he looks better as a center back in my opinion. Since last year, I think he's been pretty good. So let's see as the season progresses. Let's see. Okay. Fullbacks, obviously, it's going to be Jedi, John Tolkien, Serginho Dest, Joe Scally, and Brian Reynolds. I think Although Serginho Dest hasn't been playing as much, I think the fact that he's playing at Milan, I think that's one of the reasons why. Probably because he has a lot of competition at Milan. Uh, Jedi, Jedi has been looking amazing in the Premier League right now, and him and Tim Ream are probably some of our best players that we have right now. John Tolkien obviously has been looking really good in MLS, and I think he's one of the better left backs we have. Joe Scally, he's been up and down from Mönchengladbach as of late, but I think if he manages to get some consistency in his form in the Bundesliga, I think he could give Sergio Dest a run for his money. Brian Reynolds has been looking amazing in the Belgian league. He has been he's been in hot form as of late, and I think we should bring Brian Reynolds to camp. Other options I think will be Marlon Fossey. Marlon Fossey has been looking he's been looking pretty decent in Belgium as well. Most people haven't been paying too much attention to Marlon Fossey, but he has been looking amazing in the Belgian league as well. The Juan Jones obviously has been one of the best fullbacks in MLS as of late. Nathan Harriel obviously he needs to secure a starting spot at the Union. I I know the Union has a lot of has some really good fullbacks, but obviously I think Nathaniel Harriel needs to find some minutes with the Union, or if not, he should leave the Union to find those minutes. Sam Vines obviously hasn't recovered from injury, so obviously I do not know why I put him there, but it is what it is. So obviously for me, our starting fullbacks right now are Jedi and Sergio Dest. But with the current progression, I think Joe Scally and Brian Reynolds might be able to take over Sergio Dest if he doesn't solve his issues. So that's what I'm thinking. So next is going to be with the midfielders. I think the midfielders we should be using are Yunus Musa, Tyler Adams, Weston McKennie, Luca De La Torre. However, I think we should bring the three new faces, which are Jordan Mihalovic, Johnny Cardoso, and Taylor Booth. Johnny Cardoso has been amazing in Brazil as of late. Jordan Mihalovic and Taylor Booth have been amazing in the Eredivisie as well. Taylor Booth can play out wide. However, I think I prefer him playing in the middle. I think that's where he plays best. However, Taylor Booth is still an amazing Eredivisie player, as well as Jordan Mihailovic. Both of them have been in hot form. However, other options I think can be Alex Mendez. He has been looking pretty good for Vizela when he comes off the bench. Frankie Maya, pretty good, has been looking pretty good in MLS. Apart that, he is also a dual national. Cole Bassett, he has been looking pretty good in MLS when in his comeback to the Colorado Rapids. I think he's been looking pretty good. Aiden Morris, all right. He's been looking all right. Amir Richardson, if we can get him to commit, I think we should be able to bring him. This is an easy camp, and I think since this is an easy camp, I think if we can bring Amir Richardson, I think we should bring him. Next, it's going to be with the wide players, which are going to be Brendan Aronson, Alejandro Sendejas, Timothy Well, and Christian Pulisic. Um, Obviously, Christian Pulisic is just recovering from injury, and I think I will be if our if our if our if our Hudson, I think I'll be responsible with the minutes that Pulisic gets. I think we cannot risk Pulisic getting another injury. We seriously cannot, especially because El Salvador is such a dirty side. Like I was watching that El Salvador game from the Nations League earlier, and I think that El Salvador is a really, really, really dirty side. Timothy Well, obviously, he has been looking pretty good for Lille, although he has been playing as a fullback, which is pretty interesting to see. Alejandro Sendejas obviously is recovering from injury, but I think we should bring him just to secure a spot. And Bernard Aronson as well, I think we should bring him. Um, Although he hasn't been looking too good for Leeds as of late. I think considering that he still is a Premier League player and gets a lot of minutes. I think that's enough for us to say that he should be getting minutes with the national team. So I think our winger depth should be able to get more deep coming deeper into the season. I think with Kevin Paredes getting more minutes for Wolfsburg, Caleb Wiley securing a spot at Atlanta United, and Kate Cowell obviously finding some consistency in MLS, I think we can find some new options for our wingers pretty soon. Pretty soon. Next is going to be the strikers. Ricardo Pepi, Josh Sargent, and Brandon Vasquez. So obviously Brandon Vasquez, obviously we need to secure Brandon Vasquez right away. Josh Sargent, obviously he has had a double-digit scoring season in the championship, and he has been out in amazing form. Ricardo Pepi, amazing form as well. Other guys that I think we should be able to I think that we should be using this camp to persuade. I think it's going to be Florian Balogun and Maurice Malone. So if we can get one of those two, I think we should be replacing Josh Sargent or move Josh Sargent to another position, just so we can get one of those two guys. Especially Florian Balogun. Florian Balogun is an amazing player, and I think we should be throwing all of our resources at Florian Balogun in order to persuade him to choose us over England and Nigeria. Uh, Jordan Pifok hasn't been too good in Bundesliga, but still he's a Bundesliga player. Haji Wright, he is recovering from injury, but I do not know when he'll be recovering. Uh, Other guys I think are going to be Jesus Ferreira, but obviously you can never count on Jesus Ferreira, which is an obvious lesson by now. Other guys I think are going to be like Daryl DK, but Daryl DK is like up and down in the championship. Sometimes he's good, sometimes he's not. Sometimes he's able to produce some good matches. But obviously, I think those three are for right now. Pepe, Sargent, and Vasquez, excluding dual nationals. I think those three are our best current strikers right now at the moment. So obviously, I think for right now, Pepe's obviously right now the front runner. But if Balogun commits, there's no disputing that Balogun would be our number one striker. So there's that. So obviously, with all this, thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the next video. Goodbye.